As a matter of fact, this year one of my supporters was beaten up senseless for saying that I don't support this candidate. And so this guy just brought up people to beat him up senseless. And unfortunately, our security systems don't act very quickly, and they don't, take those issues seriously. And because they don't, they continue to recur. And I don't know when men will learn that will not deter women from vying. We will still vie. They can be as violent as they want, but it will not stop women from vying. And what I want to say is that for women, it doesn't matter how violent the situation is. We are here not just to vie to win, but to change that narrative. And we are changing the narrative that women can indeed be leaders with or without the violence that are perpetrated against them. So yes, we are. It's trying to do two things at the same time: seeking to lead, but to also create transformative spaces where we have an equal opportunity. And when we are talking about equal opportunity, means that you are elected on merit. When you go into elections, especially during campaigning, you will not dress the way I dress. We must be realistic about the spaces around which you are engaging. If the government was able to give protection, that would be different. But because the government doesn't give protection, you must always either have trousers or wear bikers. I wear trousers all the time when I'm in the constituency. And why? Because you may have to run all of a sudden. And sometimes, even if it's not about violence, very recently I was talking to one of the women who is vying, and she was asking me, how do you cope? I come from a community where I can't wear trousers, so I have to wear long kitenges. And when our presidential candidate comes, I'm expected to jump on the bonnet of his car, and then everything then is seen. So I said, you just must make sure that you either have a biker or you wear a leotard under, so that even if you jump, they'll not see your panties, they will be seeing something else. So it's a reality that women have to deal with, that you have to take into account those issues, which men don't have to take into account. Men are in trousers all the time, and people are not judgmental about how they dress. But as women, there are communities that are very strict. Women will vie, whether you are violent or not. In the last election, my house was burnt, my bodyguard was killed, and I am here vying again. You will not deter women by those archaic and backward tendencies. What I would actually encourage is that the government should make an example of one aspirant. Whether the aspirant is a member of parliament or whatever, make an example, prosecute and jail such a person. But when you actually encourage impunity, that we have actually normalized violence in political spaces, then you're making it much harder for other women to come forward and vie. But I want to encourage women that nonetheless, we are the ones who must change the narrative, and we must come out and we must vie and tell them with or without violence we will vie. So you might as well look for